Well, I'd like to suggest that one possible answer to that question is the understanding of the rise of a new group of people who have a new reason for purchasing. Now, you're one of these customers too. If you were to go into a good sports store and look for a pair of shoes, select it off the shelf and take it to the cashier, and the cashier would say, "Sir, ma'am, you have chosen the best shoes in the shop. Congratulations on your impeccable taste. What you do need to know is these shoes were lovingly put together, stitched, handcrafted, in fact, by child slaves in the Philippines, literally chained to their sewing machines, working 18 hours a day tirelessly to bring this magnificent specimen of footwear to you today." What would you do? No, don't put up your hands, because not everybody would put the shoes back, but most of us would, or at least feel uncomfortable about walking out with them. You are already in this mindset, and I think more and more as we get more and more information about the products and where they come from that we purchase, that we use, the services we're involved in, we are going to be making decisions not just based on what is it a good price and can I get it easily, but on other issues, intangible issues, ethical issues. This is also being driven by a new generation, not so much the generation Sean was talking about, the baby boomers, who are the current leaders of business, but by the Generation X and especially the Generation Y, the millennial generation children, and who are a new generation of young people coming through. Now, this is something that I spend a lot of time researching and doing work on. We know enough about generations to know that more and more younger people are at the forefront of bringing this sort of change. I, in fact, have one of these in my home. My 6-year-old daughter, Hannah, is a passionate anti-pollutioning person. Her words, not mine. She, through work that they have done at school, even at that level, through things that she sees on TV, on children's channels, adverts, programs put together to help young children understand how to fix the world and what the major world problems are. Hannah is getting day by day information about what's wrong with the planet. And for her, pollution is the big deal. We were driving somewhere a number of months back, and as we pulled onto the on-ramp onto the motorway, we got stuck behind a lorry, and we couldn't really pull out from this lorry. Cars were whizzing past us. So I decided to just sort of stay behind the lorry as we went up to the top of a rise, and would hopefully be able to take past the lorry on the way down the other side of the hill. But unfortunately, stuck behind this lorry as we went up the hill, it downshifted into a lower gear, and this big belch of diesel smoke puffed out the back and engulfed the car. Now, Hannah's a pretty good drama queen to start with, but she feigned her own death in the back seat with asphyxiation. Wound the window down and the whole trip. I mean, it really was a masterful piece of acting. And as we eventually pulled out from behind this polluting lorry, she waved her finger out the window. I can't imagine what the driver of the lorry was thinking. And she quoted a line from a Nickelodeon channel, the Cartoon Network channel series of adverts, which is, "Don't you know that every minute of every day you are part of everyone?" Which is part of their anti-pollution campaign, to get kids to say this line. And she had picked it up big time with a waving finger as we went past the lorry. I was pretty impressed, you know, as a dad of a 6-year-old. Oh, you go, girl, you know, let's sort this planet out. But then she said something which literally changed my life. She said, "Daddy, which company is that?" As she pointed to the big picture on the side of the van. "Because I don't think we should buy their stuff anymore." Now, unluckily for the particular crisp manufacturer that day, who my lawyers have told me not to name, she then went on to say, when I indicated that it was some of her favorite crisps, she said, "I will never eat those crisps again." And what happened when we got home is she took a piece of paper, she put it up on the fridge, and she started something that we now call Hannah's Rules. These are companies that we are not allowed to buy from. In the last few months, we've added a few companies to that list. There's now 7, in fact, on the list at the fridge at home. I wonder, is your company on our list? Well, If it is, I'm going to share with you Hannah's rules today, because I've tried to help Hannah understand that forgiveness is also part of how the world works. And we've even thought of putting another list of companies we definitely want to do business with. I think that's something Hannah also needs to learn about. But what I want to share with you today is Hannah's rules for what it takes to get onto her list and what it takes to get off of her list. 4 simple rules. You see, Hannah doesn't have a big perspective. She's 6 years old. She's got a cute perspective, but not a global view yet. But that's what I do for a living. And so I've worked with a number of people and done a lot of research and come up with what I think might be helpful. 4 things that we can do, or 4 problems that we should be tackling. And if we sort these problems out, about 80 or 90% of all the world's problems could be solved. So maybe a simple framework for you here this morning as you think about, are you on Hannah's list and how would you get off of it if you were? It really is about differentiating yourself from your competition by thinking and acting more ethically, making a difference in a world gone